Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is the weekend reading for Saturday the 8th and Sunday the 9th of June 2019. My voice has just gone all husky. Oh. Anyway, here we go. 3-card major arcana reading, possibly with some clarifiers. Excuse me. And then one from the swords, one from the wands, one from the pentacles, and one from the cups. So one more. Well, possibly one more. Yep, one more. Okay. And cut, let's see. Tower in the reverse. The Hermit. The Devil in the reverse. Okay. Well, whatever's blowing up in your face this weekend, you don't need to keep it to yourself because there's no shame attached to it. I think there's more a fear of something blown up in your face here with the Tower in the reverse. We have 2 cards here about power, about the perils of power. And the perils of one's own sense of one's own power. In the Tower card, we have this structure that has been built in order to dominate the landscape. And this card is about what happens when the efforts we have gone to in order to shore up and kind of consolidate power get shot to pieces with the bolt from the blue. And up till this point, I mean, my sense of what these cards mean, so to speak, is continually evolving. And I've always seen the Tower as a kind of innocent structure that has no sort of downside to it, and it's just you going about your business, and then suddenly something comes in and smashes it all to pieces. But I've changed my view on that. I think the Tower is about the consolidation, the efforts to consolidate power and to create a structure within the world, a worldly structure within which to heap and amass power. And there's nothing in and of itself wrong with that. But the problem comes when fate decides to deal an unexpected blow. How do we then cope with that? However, we're coming into the reading with this in the reverse. Things as they really are. The Devil in the reverse. So the loosening of karmic binds, bonds, chains, and the falling out of hooks within the self, hooks of addiction, hooks of compulsion, hooks of obsession, falling away. So we've got 2 releases of power here. Sitting in the middle of the reading, we have the Hermit, the quiet, solitary, contemplative. And this is why I say whatever blows up or appears to blow up in your face, it's not actually something blowing up in your face. It is actually liberation. And the temptation might be to go into the self in order to examine what is going on. But that's not necessarily going to help. And I say that because it's sitting in the middle of the reading here as the veil, the unhelpful aspect that stops us moving into the energy of what actually is. I'm going to get another one on this. Wow. How often do these two come up together for me? The Hierophant. Okay. So there's a sense here where not only is there examination to be done internally, but there is examination of this real release of power, I would say, release of the need to keep it all under lock and key in this Norman watchtower. And the need to, in the devil, the need to maintain one's own narrative of being trapped. Both of them are releasing. And yeah, the temptation is to run for the sanctuary of organized belief system and the sanctuary of the meditative aloneness. Now, I'm going to get another one on here because I don't know whether I'm going to get another one on the devil in the reverse, because I'm not sure at this stage whether running for the sanctuary of these two elderly bearded gentlemen, the internal spiritual guide and the external spiritual rule book, represented here by the Hierophant, I don't know whether this is just not necessary or actually not a good idea. I mean, really, in the end, things that are not necessary are not a good idea to engage in because, you know, at best they're just a waste of time. I'm going to get another one on this. Okay, we've got the Fool in the reverse. Okay. This is going to sound so contradictory, but whatever this kind of whoosh, this like opening of the floodgates or overflowing, the levees being breached here in the Tower in the reverse and the Fool in the reverse, it's not actually the start of a whole new world. It's not. It's not as big as it seems. And that's why I would say, in the context of this having turned up, the Fool in the reverse, that this rush for internal and worldly spiritual sanctuary is simply unnecessary. One more here, because the juxtaposition of the huge energy involved in the Tower in reverse and the Devil in the reverse, especially the Devil in the reverse being then clarified by this kind of damp squib, this firework not going off of the Fool in the reverse is quite puzzling. Okay, how wonderful. The Sun in the upright. Okay. There's a fear of disaster. There's a tower. There's a sense of really needing to just kind of shut yourself down and check out your spiritual books and think, what must I do? How must I respond to this? But it really, really, there really is actually nothing wrong. This is a release. It's a release. And I would say, even because it's clarified by the Fool in the reverse, I would say that it's a release that's a long time coming. And sometimes when some energetic blockage has been building up for a long time, when it finally pops, it's actually quite small. The final. Sometimes, if you think about the image I've got in my mind is of a build up of branches and twigs and stuff in a river, and it's built up and built up and built up and built up and built up, and you're looking at it and you're like, oh my God, when that goes, when that finally breaks, when the pressure becomes so great, it finally breaks, my God, there's just going to be this massive flood and everything's going to get swept away. Tower in the reverse. But what it actually is one tiny little twig at the front of it. Just goes and moves. And the water starts to flow through that blockage in a different way, but it's not a and it doesn't change the landscape afterwards. What it does is gently moves out of the way, and the river just carries on flowing as it should. Sun in the upright. How wonderful. There's no need to check it out with the old beardy white dudes, or the old white bearded dudes. No need to check it out with them. You really don't. This is a good thing. It's a good thing. And as I say, it's a long time coming. Okay, we got the Page of Swords. Now, the first word that comes to my mind today with this is vigilance. However, this is the vigilance of an immature spirit that could be prone to overreaction. And for me, it's linking in here with the veil position, the obscuration of the Hermit in the upright and the Hierophant in the upright. There's nothing to be afraid of here. There's nothing to really sort of watch for and be poised to take action for in terms of your words and your thoughts, or your thoughts and your words, because usually the thoughts come first. One would hope so. Hey, there's really no need for this degree of vigilance. Okay, Two of Wands. So we have a new start, but it's gentle. It's gentle, and this for me is linking in with the Fool in the reverse here. It's not the Chariot, all right? It's not like striking out into a brave new world and who knows what this new territory is going to be like. Yeah, there's always new territory. But the release that comes here is a gentle release. And there's time to draw up some new plans without, as I say, having to refer back to the rule book of what's inside you or whatever system you feel you need to follow. It's just not necessary. It's absolutely not necessary. And I know that because we have the Sun. Okay, we have the King of Pentacles. Riches heaped up. I don't know if you can hear the cat there. It's really stormy weather outside here, and the cat keeps going outside and coming back in absolutely sopping wet. He's probably done it again. Yeah. The time taken to build up this blockage has been the time taken. Oh, come on. Focus. Focus for me, camera. No, not going to play ball. There are lots of grapes on there. Mature, ripe grapes. It's harvest time, but there's no need to rush at it. There's no need to rush while this energy has been building up. You know, it hasn't happened quickly, but there's the fear that this change is happening quickly, but it's not the case, and there's a wonderful harvest to be reaped here. Unbeknownst to you, you have been building up karmic riches, and they're yours for the picking now. How interesting. 5 of Cups. Well, Right, sorry. I don't know how many tarot card readers pull the 5 of Cups and then burst out laughing, but look at the colour of his face. It's not, oh, my cups have fallen, I am heartbroken. It's like, oh shit, cups fell over. I hope no one saw that happen. This is embarrassment. This is embarrassment. And a sense of an utterly unnecessary sense of shame. Never mind. So it's probably really unhelpful, but never mind. And this again for me is linking back to this. It's like, oh my God, it's all so serious. Oh my God, I have to go into my cave and contemplate this change. And oh my God, what would the rule book say? No, no, it's fine. You don't need to hide it. We've all kicked over the cups by mistake at some point or other. Now I'm going to pull one more major arcana card to try to crown this, because this is actually wonderful, but it looks really bad. Okay, there we go. We have the Empress in the upright. Seriously, folks, whatever seeming disaster, heartbreak and disappointment befalls you this weekend, it is not the end of the world. It is, in fact, the very quiet dawn of a new world. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.